I say either give it back or shut the fuck up. AOC says so many people in this country hate women. Oh, geez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun. Congressman Jamal Bowman says capitalism is slavery by another name. No, it's not. It's the thing that has given more people more prosperity and hope than any other system, flawed though it surely is. Say something about America that you like, because honestly, I don't know why the people who are fighting for this country so hard even want it anymore.
Bill Maher didn't hold back this time. He went straight at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and the contradiction he pointed out is becoming harder to ignore. Every time Republicans take power, suddenly America is portrayed as completely broken, rotten to the core, beyond repair. Everything becomes a crisis. Every issue is framed as proof that the country is collapsing. But when Democrats are in charge, the tone shifts, fast. Maher's point is simple. That's not principle. That's selective outrage. It's criticism filtered through politics, not consistency. And once you notice it, you start seeing it everywhere.
A more pertinent question to ask about the word woke might be, why in such a short time has it gone from a rallying cry to a pejorative? If the word only made you think of rational, deserved causes like teaching a less whitewashed version of American history, AOC would still want to own it. But it's a joke because it makes you think of people who wake up offended and take orders from Twitter, and their oversensitivity has grown tiresome. That said,
Maher also went after AOC's past closeness to woke politics. Let's be honest, that history didn't just disappear. When woke culture carried influence, media approval, and social clout, figures like AOC leaned into it fully. The messaging, the symbolism, the branding, it was all there. But now that the label doesn't resonate the same way with everyday voters, there's distance, more caution, a softer tone. Maher's take? This doesn't look like a genuine shift in beliefs. It looks like an image adjustment because the old approach stopped working.
That said, I would love to have AOC on this show. There's so much to admire there. I was one of her first supporters for the Green New Deal idea. But that will probably never happen because Democrats don't go anywhere these days where they're not pre-adored. And that's my last bit of advice to them. Go where the amen corner isn't. Do Fox News. Be brave. Come here. Go everywhere. Winning is about expanding the electorate.
Maher has even said AOC is welcome to come on his show anytime and defend her positions. But that's where it gets interesting. Appearing on Real Time isn't like going on a friendly platform. Maher presses. He follows up. He doesn't let polished talking points slide by unchallenged. And that's exactly why critics think she might hesitate. Because once the environment stops protecting you, your arguments have to stand on their own. And sometimes, outside that bubble, they don't hold up as well.
You don't really love America if you hate half the people in it. And also if you hate a lot of the things that everybody always loved about it. There's an oft-repeated moment in political debates where the moderator says to the two candidates, say something nice about your opponent.
Can you say one nice thing, something that you admire about your opponent?
And say something nice about Representative Deal.
Tell us something that you admire about your opponent.
Can you say something nice about your opponent?
It's always so awkward because the candidates just spent an hour describing how America would be an out-of-control dumpster fire if the other guy won the election.
Maher's broader argument cuts even deeper. He suggests that for some political figures, the issue doesn't always sound like America itself, it sounds like the people they disagree with politically. Because the moment the other side takes power, the entire country is described as morally broken. Not flawed, not struggling, but fundamentally damaged, maybe even beyond saving. At that point, everything becomes evidence of collapse. Every disagreement becomes a scandal. And Maher's point is clear. When criticism starts feeling automatic like that, it stops looking honest and starts looking like a reflex.
Okay, I say the next time we have debates, the moderator needs to frame that question a little differently, as say something about America that you like, because honestly, I don't know why the people who are fighting for this country so hard even want it anymore. Republicans, I'll start with you. I really want to know. That is what's so odd about this time that we're living in. For all the talk about fighting for the soul of America, nobody seems to like it very much. Too many liberals give the impression that to them, America is just a big, ugh. The red, white, and ew.
He also highlights how standards shift depending on who's in power. Under Joe Biden, issues like inflation, border concerns, crime, or foreign policy mistakes were often softened or explained with more patience. But bring Donald Trump back into the picture, and suddenly every flaw becomes proof that America is falling apart. That's the contrast Maher is calling out. Because at the same time, supporters point to stronger economic signals, tougher border enforcement, energy-focused policies, and a more assertive foreign stance. His core argument, too many people choose a side first, and then shape the facts to fit that choice.
A country that started out bad and will always be bad, founded on an unrelenting history of sucking and unable to change. But we have changed a lot. Democrat Cori Bush tweeted, "This land is stolen land and black people still aren't free." And this was on the 4th of July. Really? Not that I give a shit about the 4th of July. I've never been a rah-rah guy. But I am a perspective guy. And that's what too much of the left has lost, perspective.
Maher's criticism of the outrage mindset also resonates because people recognize it. In some circles, anger no longer feels like a reaction, it feels like a default setting. If something improves, it gets minimized. If progress happens, the conversation shifts. If facts don't support the narrative, a new narrative replaces them. At that point, criticism stops looking like it's about fixing problems and starts looking like a way to build identity and stay emotionally invested in negativity.
72% of black people under 30 are optimistic about their future in America. Way more than white people the same age. And as far as the land goes, yes, I guess we could change the name of Captain America to Captain Stolen Land. But honestly, to all the people who start every public event now with one of those land acknowledgements where they say, "I'm standing on land that was stolen from the proud indigenous people of the Chumash tribe," I say either give it back or shut the fuck up.
Maher also pushed back on the idea that no progress has been made for black Americans since the past. He wasn't saying everything is perfect, not at all. His point was that ignoring real progress is also misleading. Since the 1960s and 70s, opportunities in education, business, politics, and culture have expanded significantly. And that matters. If the conversation only focuses on what's still wrong while ignoring what's improved, then it presents an incomplete and less credible picture.
AOC says so many people in this country hate women. Oh, geez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun. Congressman Jamal Bowman says capitalism is slavery by another name. No, it's not. It's the thing that has given more people more prosperity and hope than any other system, flawed though it surely is.
Then there's the discussion around socialism. Maher questions why it's often presented as a clean moral alternative to capitalism, when real-world examples like Venezuela, Cuba, and North Korea are frequently associated with economic struggles, shortages, and instability. Yes, every case is different, but the pattern raises valid questions. If a system repeatedly runs into similar problems, why is it still marketed as the ideal solution? Maher's view, the debate should focus on real outcomes, not slogans. B.
Immigrants. Ask any of them why they came here, and they will tell you the same thing. Ron DeSantis put me on a plane. But they will also tell you that America, for all that's so shitty about it right now, is still the last best hope. And those people asking for our votes to take it over should remember that.
This brings us to the contradiction Maher keeps emphasizing. Figures like AOC talk about reshaping the future of a country they also describe as deeply broken. So the question is obvious. If America is truly that flawed, why the constant push to lead it? Leadership requires more than anger and slogans. It requires persuasion, credibility, and the ability to connect with people outside your own political group. And when your message leans too heavily on division, it becomes harder to convince others you're the solution.
But again, something like the free market is kind of synonymous with America. And if you don't like it, I don't know how you can say you love this country. You know who loves this country? You know who's not constantly complaining about what happened 200 years ago and who's not obsessed with seeing America through shit-colored glasses and shaking off the stench of what irredeemable, privileged assholes we are? Immigrants.
Maher's final point ties it all together. For all the criticism and negativity, people around the world still look at the United States and see opportunity, freedom, stability, and a chance to build a better life. Millions are willing to take risks just to be part of it. That reality matters. You can acknowledge problems without declaring the entire country a failure. You can push for reform without denying progress. That's Maher's core message. A country moves forward by fixing what's wrong while recognizing what's right. Because when criticism starts sounding like resentment instead of reform, people stop hearing truth and start hearing contempt.